Tell you about Legend Seeker and how you can support its development while getting some awesome perks. By subscribing to our Legendary tier on YouTube or becoming a paid member on our Discord or Patreon, you'll get early access to all Legend Seeker lore and mechanics. This means you'll be among the first to dive into the world of Legend Seeker and give direct feedback that will help shape the game. But that's not all. Supporters will also be the first to playtest the system and will get exclusive invites to private streams where we discuss the game in detail. Your input will play a huge role in making Legend Seeker the best that it can be. Now, for those of you who love watching our tabletop role-playing game shows, supporting Legend Seeker comes with some fun bonuses for the casts. Here's how it works. If you are a Copper or Common member on Discord or Patreon, you can give a $20 benefit to a player of your choice. Silver and Uncommon members can give 2 benefits to 2 players of your choice. If you go the YouTube route, you can give a $50 benefit to a player of your choice. And for the ultimate support, Gold and Mythic members on Discord and Patreon give a $20 benefit to 3 players of your choice. You can choose from all casts across Moonskull. Every bit of support goes directly towards making Legend Seeker a reality. It helps fund the art, writing, editing, and eventual publishing of the game. So, if you want to be a part of this journey and support our shows, join our Legendary tier on YouTube or become a member on Discord or Patreon. We couldn't do it without you, and we're excited to build Legend Seeker together. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the game.
Guess what's in this cup? You guessed Death Wish coffee. You're wrong. It's actually just normal coffee with hot sauce in it. Because I ran out of Death Wish coffee. Hi, I'm Frost. This is Frost written, and I'm doing this without Death Wish coffee. Just normal coffee. I mean, it's not totally normal. It's from an espresso machine, but, you know, still. Anyway, I'm here to do some work on Legend Seeker. And where you can see in the background there, it's totally blurred out and you can't read the words Legendary Wizard. Right? Right. And I'm going to be working on the descriptions of the Legendary Wizard and the Legendary Cleric today. I do drink normal coffee. Once in a while. Okay, I drink normal coffee relatively often, but I always put hot sauce in it. Though I did try something different this morning. I put in my normal black coffee, I put hot honey in it. Which is, I never put sugar in my tea. In my coffee, and it was like, it was interesting having a little bit of sweetness in the coffee and the spice, but I didn't really need the sweetness. So, eh. I gotta send this out really quickly. Oh my gosh, it won't. All I'm trying to do is type the word suggestions in a text, and it kept trying to autocorrect. Anyway, it tried to autocorrect the word suggestions to a girl's name, Shoshana. I don't know why, but that put me in mind of a literary magazine I worked on with my editor back in the 90s. And we had one person who submitted poetry and stuff to us more than once who was a published poet in the area. And that woman's name was Shoshana. Like, oh, boom, I'm back in the 90s. Weird. All right, let's see. Let me make sure I've got everything loaded over here. Boop, 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 boop. All right, there. I got everything opened and loaded. So I'm working on the wizard and the cleric. So right now I have the wizard on the screen, but I meant to have the cleric on here. Where is my writing tab? On my new machine, once I start using it, I'm very close. I have this all organized better. I got rid of a lot of dead scenes and things I don't need. Let's see. We'll go to the cleric here. There we go. You can't read that either. Legendary cleric. You can't read it. Nope. Okay, interesting. So yeah, I've got to come up with something that makes this. It's funny. This guy's name is Godwin because I came up with that name Godwin way back when I wrote this story, and I liked the name Godwin, and I just used it for Strange Eons. This guy is a potter turned cleric from this village, so he's just a human. He's a young man who was a potter up until he got kind of elevated to this status by being inspired by a wedding guest. It's part of the story of the guy who tells him the God Killer War. And yeah, I'm trying to write up some things about him. That's an interesting take on it. I'm trying to do some AI inspirations for unusual features of people's faces and things. All right, do that. What else did I do in here? I put a few other notes about him. Ah, there they are. Okay. There's wedding, strange man approaching him. Okay. So this guy is kind of chased with his couple of, they're not really acolytes, they're fellow believers in Senna. They worship Senna as well. They travel with him, and they've been kind of chased across the Godlands by these former church leaders. Well, I shouldn't say former, they're still the church leaders, but these guys have a lot of people on their side now. Goody, I got messages from work. Whee! Right. There we go. What else can we do? We've got the idea. I mean, we could do a physical deformity, but it has to be something that's kind of visual. So he could have, he could be cut. He could have scars. He could have like a hump. We could do something unusual to his appearance like that if we wanted to do something a little crazy. We could give him an actual mask that he wears, like he actually wears a mask. That might be interesting. Let's see if maybe that could be interesting because then he'd be a human being, but he'd have a kind of an interesting mask. Like maybe it has like like some kind of like art or something or slits around the eyes that make him look unusual. Um, oops. Work. Oh, type that right. Boom. Let's see. Put that there. Hmm. Oh man, I did not type that word right at all. Right. So how's everybody's Thursday going? I had a number of meetings. Got to do brainstorming today in meetings, which was always fun. I always enjoy doing that, even though occasionally some of the ideas I come up with, people are like, "Yeah, we can't really do that." Mm. Let's see. Crafted. Try that. That one's gonna take a while. Okay. Thursday, I discovered some wonderful nettles in my yard that were nice and scratchy. Well, nettles are amazing. Nettles are awesome. Not for walking through, that's bad, but making nettle tea. We used to always make that when I was a kid. Once we got a Firefox book or something, like, I don't know what it was. We got something out of the library and we found out about nettle tea and we're like, oh my gosh, is this really good for you? And turns out it is. You got to be careful because if you're allergic to the stuff, you can have problems. So, yeah. Mm, because it was supposed to help. I don't remember what it was supposed to. It gave you a lot of vitamins. I know that. I think it was supposed to help with allergies. I don't remember if that's true. I think they're nettles. I don't know. They're weeds that I stepped on while mowing and they're prickly. Well, if you run your hands over them and you get white blisters on you, you've got nettles. If you don't get the little white blisters, then no, not nettles. Mm, try that. Time to go and see if I get blisters. Yeah. Or you could look up a picture online. Because blisters are annoying. They kind of sting a little bit. They're mostly annoying. I don't know. I'm looking at the what I typed up about it, the idea of a mask. The mask is interesting, but I think it could also be a little weird. I mean, he could have something unusual like an ion stone or something like that. That sort of an idea floating around him. But that's kind of a magical thing to have attached to him. Um, yeah. It could be his clothing. He could be wearing something unusual. But how do you get that across without it just being weird? Because of, like I said, hey, the dwarves really appreciate everything he's done and they love him. And they're like, before he got run out of town, they made him a suit of dwarven armor that's, made for a human, which nobody ever does. And then we could have him in a human sized set of dwarven armor, which is interesting. But it might not be significant to people who don't know what this world's dwarven armor looks like. Could have him wearing a large travel pack, which would be interesting. Um, because being a potter, it would be interesting if he had something having to do with that. But there's really not a whole lot of accoutrements you could carry around to say I was a potter before I became a the avatar or the scion of a dead goddess preaching her message around the Godlands. He could have a very unusual staff that he's carrying, which would be kind of cool. When they grow back because I mowed them, he wears a Hugh Hefner robe. Hey, there you go. He's got a pipe and a Hugh Hefner robe, and he's like, ha ha. Wait a second. Wait a second. Wait a second. I don't know about that one. We're gonna, for no apparent reason, put a couple things over in pick check. I want to check something, make sure it's working. Yeah, it's working. Okay, good. There, we'll clap for the wizard. Blurp. All right, there we go. He carries the first pot he ever made with him. It looks terrible and can't hold any liquids because it was the first attempt, but it's sentimental. Yeah. Yeah, well, and some of this too, this has to be because these guys are going to be featured on, very specific art. And we have to make sure we have something about them that is unusual. I mean, I could have his, hands all the way down stained red from all the clay that he's worked over his, young life. That seems a little unusual. I was trying to think of a way to tie it to Senna and the land because their land there is all been transformed because she's the goddess of transformation and change, that it transformed him in some way, shape, or form. And having, his hands up to his arms or something look like they're, always bloody or something seems a little gross, a little grim. If they were clay colored, that's more interesting. But that mostly means he's going to have kind of like orangey, rust looking hands. Not as interesting. The other thing we could do, because unless I'm totally wrong here, Senna's her image, or the image of Senna, is the butterfly. We go down to Legend Seeker. Right. Oop. Right. Okay, where is Senna? Where is Senna? Could open my version. All right. The Roman God Killer War. Yeah, the ethereal butterfly. For changing nature of life, represent the soul journey. And perform rituals, renewal, growth, acts of devotion. So we could have him always just have, butterflies around him, which would be interesting. It is a butterfly. Yeah, you're right. Yep, he could have the symbol around his neck. He does carry a holy symbol specifically of Senna. That is part of the story, and that the old guy responded to. Let's retry that. Um, okay. Like I said, I have to think a little bit outside the box with this one and the wizard because they're literally just a human and an elf. And, a human and an elf, they look like humans and elves. And we have to make them distinctive, striking. So I think the butterflies would be interesting. If the robes he was wearing were unusual as well, but I'd have to think about that one for a little bit. So she's also the goddess of growth. So he could have a staff that has something living growing out of it. I mean, originally it would be kind of cool if he was walking and where he walked, or when he stayed somewhere, it helped heal the land. Let's see. I'm thinking the oath of the oaths that the paladins can take. That guardians the growth, shielding the weak, guiding them towards the light. The blossom. The order of the chrysalis. Okay. Lush meadows, vibrant gardens, serene groves. Change and adaptation. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it could, since hers is supposed to be an ethereal butterfly, it could be an ethereal butterfly that doesn't seem to have real substance, that just stays with him all the time. Could be kind of fun. All right, talented man wears stained traveling clothes, suit of light armor, white tabard over the ensemble. Embroidered lovely on the chest. Let's see, on the tabard by his sister. Say, given him the rugged look, traveler. Let's say fall where they wish. His reddish brown hair and beard are tousled and fall where they wish. And the rugged look of a traveler. Carefree era of an adventurer. I like you said, unusually long life for a butterfly. I have no idea how long butterflies live. I know it's not very long, but So I think moths don't have mouths. Some moths don't have mouths, so once they metamorphose, they starve to death. Well, that's pretty horrifying. I mean, what? That's why there's the Silence of the Lambs had the moth. All right, it says he bears a staff of dark polished wood which has thick iron bands at each end, the top of which is a living flower atop it, kept alive by the magic of his faith. An ethereal indigo butterfly accompanies him at all times. I don't think it should be a flower. Flowers. I don't know that. Where? It's ever blooming and renewing flowers, kept alive by the magic of faith. An ethereal indigo butterfly accompanies him at all times. A large ethereal indigo butterfly accompanies him at all times, flitting through the air and around him, always returning to the staff as the ever far. To light staff. Oh, okay, that didn't want to work. Oop. All right. Why am I getting messages? The work message. Work messages. Take that, work. Oh wait. Oh, check this. I do have to check this one. We. Right, there we go. Now that I said that, I have to look and see what this is. I gotta answer this. Somebody's confused about a very critical thing. All right, that should have answered it. Hopefully. Yeah, work. Woo! Nature is cruel. You're not wrong. All right, let's see here. Yeah, I'm putting down that his the holy symbol he's made is ceramic because he made it out of the fine clay they have there. Hair beard, tousled and flower they wish. Look at the traveler, carefree air, adventurer. His neck is a finely crafted ceramic holy symbol of Sana, the ethereal butterfly made by God himself. There's a staff of dark polished wood, which has thick iron bands on each end, the top of which sprouts ever blooming and radiant flowers. Kept alive by the magic of his faith. Our ethereal indigo butterfly accompanies him at all times, flitting through the air and around him, always returning to a light on his staff if he ever ventures far from it. Okay, we'll save that. I'm going to think about that for a bit here now. All right, go here. I'm going to pop this in. I'm going to change what I'm pointing to here. This one. And it totally doesn't say legendary wizard. Mull it all. I'm going to mull it all over. See if they respond to me here. Because they asked me one of these questions like 25 minutes ago and I didn't see it. And then they followed up with one more. I was like, oh, aha, here's your answer. They probably already found somebody else to get the question answered, though. All right, so let's go to Kaleon. Here is the document for this. Oh, I just remembered something I wanted to put in this one here. I'll put this Let's see. The apparent carefree air of adventure until one meets his piercing gray eyes. All right, because Godwin's going to have some unusual, like blue gray eyes. Kind of eyes you look at and you're like, this looks a little strange. Regency Lizard. Oh, okay. All right. Ladies love Regency romance, and they love those weird billionaire bear things. Regency Lizard. It writes itself. There's this eligible lizard lord who's just trying to find a woman who will, independently think for herself, be her own woman. And he's been having all these just ninny-headed or cotton-headed ninny muggins that are thrown at him left and right until he meets Girl X, who's not like all the other Regency girls. Yep. No, Frost, stop that train of thought right now. Nope, too late. I've got to think up a good lizard name for him, though. Sylvester. Lord Sylvester. Even better, he could be a were lizard. I've killed Chrysanthemum. Hey, your mom's not here, so you're safe, right? Or at least she's not saying anything right now, so you're safe until she speaks up. Oop. How do I want to do this? Fabric of Magic. How are the duo who disdain puns doing this evening? Woo! Speak of the devil. I mean, hi, Ma. Well, we disdain puns, but with Grisant's help, I just came up with the best book that is going to catapult me into the bestseller list with, I guess, all the wine moms ever. With when I write Regency Lizard, all about Lord Sylvester and his quest for a woman who can, not only think for herself, but deal with his lizard self in Regency times. It's gonna sell 3 copies or more. You need to make that a character now. No one will know. That's true. Wine moms enjoy that stuff. Yeah. Well, I joked in where was it? The books and where was it? It was in one of the Moonskull channel things here. I think it was books and comics. And nobody responded yet, but Don Hill put in there that he got the girlfriend a mystery smut book box. It says, one night and one decision was all it took for my world to be flipped upside down. Vance Preston was my best friend. We did everything together, and I swore he hung the moon. Okay, one fateful night, I changed all of that, though. I made a choice, and though thought I was doing the right thing, but I was wrong. Even worse, Vance promises to show me just how mistaken I was. Once my best friend, now my bully, my tormentor, my new stepbrother. Stuck in a home with him, no way out. He swears to break me, only he doesn't realize you can't break something that's already broken. So, the whole thing looks scary and frightening, and I said, you're the reason lit agents don't want to pick up my book for publishing and they all want smut. You don't want to know the level of smut that women have devolved into literature. Oh my gosh, it's frightening. Hey, fantastic. Yeah, the degenerate stuff. And honestly, when I was a kid, when like I don't know, Easter or birthdays or things would come around, if we actually got a present or something, I would want a book. So I would get these like little abridged version of books like Treasure Island or something like that. Occasionally we get some books from wherever they could get them from, like a used store or whatever. But my mom would buy the Harlequin romance novels. She had stacks of them. You know, they were like 50 cents at that point or whatever, 99 cents back then. And she had stacks of those. But she also had Louis L'Amour books, which was kind of cool. And we used to read those, the boys, because we didn't want to read Harlequin romance novels. It was amazing how many of those she had. And I once looked at them, and 90% of them, I want to say, had the exact same premise with a totally different person's name in the synopsis on the back. And that seems to be what's out there now. Yep. It's going to be everywhere. And I even found a few other people that I've followed on X talking about the same thing, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you can't find just fantasy sci-fi stuff. It's all romantasy or this kind of stuff or harem stuff or the billionaire bear stuff. It's just that's what you get now." They're kind of ruining it for everybody. But that's who's buying all the books right now, evidently. To believe them, to believe the people in the publishing industry, that's who's doing all the buying, because women are doing all the buying of books these days. I'm not certain if it's because they forced all the guys out of writing, or if guys stopped reading because there was nothing for them to read, or if there are that many millions of women who are just flocking to that stuff that can't get enough of it. And it's inundating, and because these people would not stay in business if they weren't making money. So they've got to be making money, right? Yeah, it's a girl who isn't like the others, meaning bland, boring, just like every other woman. Walk into a Barnes and Noble and it's like walking into a porn shop. Ugh. No thanks. Now I don't want to go to Barnes and Noble. One sister was totally into those. I enjoyed thrillers and detective novels. Yep. Thrillers and detective novels were where it's at. I tell people in real life, Chrysanth is just like any other girl. Quiet, you. But shorter. Oh. Wow. So, Kalian Lighthollow, the weaver of celestial threads, is an albino. I'm making him an albino elven male with long white blonde hair, pale skin, and white eyes, which make it appear to everyone that he is blind. In reality, he is not, but his affinity for viewing the weave has affected his physical form on numerous levels. Clad in fine robes of black cloth with silver embroidery, Kalian cuts an imposing and striking figure, appearing almost ethereal at times. He's casting spells. Oops. Fine robes, fine black cloth with silver embroidery. Kalian cuts an imposing striking figure, appearing almost ethereal at times. No more so than when he is casting spells. Now, here's where I'm getting weird with this guy. His ability to see and manipulate the weave directly. This is his ability. So this is what it is about. Through relentless, this his abilities here makes him legendary. Through relentless research and years spent under the tutelage of both human and elven scholars, he developed the ability to perceive the threads of magic connecting all things. The shimmering strands, visible only to him, allow Kalian, to manipulate spells in unique ways, altering their form, extending their range, or intertwining them for unexpected effects. So he's seeking to master an ancient artifact. We're not going to talk about it. Blah blah blah. And there are other people fighting. Yeah. So basically, when he's casting a spell with his hands doing this, he has another set of ethereal arms that are manipulating the weave around those spells. So when he starts casting, he's got extra arms that appear like ghostly ethereal arms winking in and out of existence, pulling on the threads of magic while he's casting spells. Look, go my cats. Okay. So are all other girls unlike every other girl? Because every other girl is only 50% of the girl population. Well, now you've hit upon the issue. Hello, Jensen. You're late, but you're here. You're here, but you're late. That's fine. Yeah, so he is going to be an unusual. He's not gonna look like Elric, like a crazy guy in armor, but he is going to look pale in black and white. Okay. Weapons. All right. Clad in fine robes of black cloth with silver embroidery, Kalian cuts an imposing. All right, that's supposed to be a comma. I was like, why does that end there? You're almost ethereal at times. Always casting spells. All right, which can be. So these arms are literally. Well, these arms are pulling on the literal threads of magic, which can be glimpsed during their movements. On golden strands, which could be glimpse. The arms are pulling on the literal threads of magic. Find golden strands, glimpse of manipulations. So basically, oops. When he's casting spells, he's doing his normal casting, but he has these extra set of arms, which are, pulling and like straining the actual strands of the weave of magic while he's casting something, allowing him to cast spells, farther, do more damage, create completely different effects. So he's got these arms doing other things while he's doing it. They may be like pulling the strands of magic apart so he can shoot farther, whatever he's doing. I think it could be cool. A very cool visual for him. So, fantastic, Jensen. How you doing? Pap, I didn't ask you how you were doing. I should do that. How are you doing? How's everybody doing? Wow, Crescent, a year of Moonskull. Wow. That is really cool. Whee! Wait, I have been subscribed to Moonskull longer than you? I can't believe it. I don't even know how. All right, I guess it's the Erudite channel. Yeah, it's not Moonskull. What am I saying? Erudite, a year of Erudite channel. Woo! So we got to get to the bottom of this. How many of you guys there in chat have dated or married that girl who's not like other girls? I'm curious. You need to capitalize the E in his kick channel. What bothers you? He will never change it now. You should never have said it bothers you. Now it will be there forever. So a couple of the girls I dated in college thought they were not like other girls, but they were like other girls. One girl I dated in college, the coolest one, she thought she was, just a normal person. And of course, she was the one who was unusual and cool. That's how it works. Erudite has his own kick channel. Yeah. If you look for Erudite 36, we're streaming over there. Never cared enough to compare myself to others. Oh no. How can you get through life without comparing yourself to everyone else? How does that even work? How? All right. So that over there. All right. His long research into directly manipulating the weave has affected its physical form on numerous levels. Okay. Sorry for being late. I'm Epic Mike's new secretary, and I had to go to KFC and get him a bucket of chicken. Was he at least nice to you? Yeah, I dropped a link to the Rude Kick channel. A bot immediately showed up. I saw that and was like, boom. Hello, Cajun Corey. How you doing? How's everybody else doing? Nobody answered me. What the hell? What are you guys doing? Don't make me start yelling like Epic Mike. So I would really like some fried chicken right now. That sounds really fried and crispy. Can't resist me. Gravy. The gravy. Wait, is it Italian gravy? Or is it gravy? I'm just asking for a friend. All right. This is my own fault. I've made myself a note and I put it in a folder, but I don't think I put it in the right. Okay, I think. Well, that's why I asked the guys, Bap. I know it's the AIKFC song. I'm just curious if it's Italian gravy or normal gravy, you know? Normal. Not like that Italian gravy. What is more scary to meet in a dark alley? An angry croissant or a meth addicted raccoon? Okay, I need one more bit of information from you, Feline. Did somebody, or did I, this person in the alley, did I just tell Croissant a pun? Because I would probably go with the Croissant because she can use a shovel. She has thumbs. The meth addicted raccoon, I could probably get up high enough on a dumpster that they couldn't get to me. I'm scarier if you don't have meth to appease the raccoon. Oh, wow. She went totally the other direction. Angry Croissant, hella happy Croissant is scary. Wow. You'll probably never get married. Now, is that fantastic? Is that you just being, not fantastic? Is that being, the sad sarcastic? Saying, oh, I'll probably never get married, kind of Charlie Brown? Or are you just saying, I'm never getting married? I can't tell. It's the internet. I can't tell. I was ready to get married back in college, but that didn't happen. It might have been a wise choice, baby. I don't know. That's really bad, Cajun Corey. You're a horrible person, but I love the joke on thing, and it's horrible, but I hate it, and I love it at the same time. And Cajun Corey, are you not getting married because you're like, nope, my life is too amazing? Trying to think if there's anything else I need to write about this, because I mean, him having, the kind of albino look to him without the red eyes, the black robes, his long white hair, his ethereal arms that show up when he's casting spells, probably going to be more than enough. I think that's a story for in real life friends, Frost. There you go. All right. Well, then you save that for in real life people. Bam. You just need to meet a nice lady from outside the U.S. and import them into the U.S. No tariffs on mail order brides currently. I love how you said currently. Wow. Now, here's what's funny. One of my friends, who we've known for years from an online game we played, is from Denmark, and he met a woman from the Ukraine, and they got married and they have a child. They live in Denmark, and they had a service. It was literally a dating service where people, guys, at that point it was in Europe. They made a business of a dating service to meet, for guys in Europe to meet ladies from the Ukraine and like one other country, Belarus, um, who were looking to get married to somebody somewhere in the outside their country in the EU. And I'd have to ask him. I don't know if it's still going because it's been a few years, but they had a whole bunch of people that started dating, got married, and had pretty successful, happy relationships. And they just ran the app that brought the people together. So I joked with him once. I'm like, "This is all in the up and up, right?" He said, "Yeah, these are just girls who want to get married." And for some reason, he said it's very strange in that part of Ukraine where she was from. These girls are like really pretty. They're really, really nice. Some of them, haven't had a lot of schooling or whatever, but they're very pretty girls. But there are so many pretty girls in certain areas all trying to find men that men were kind of like being jerks and spoiled about it. And they were just like, you. And the other girls were like, oh. So they started going to these other places where they're like, these men aren't nearly as picky. And so a pretty girl can find somebody who actually likes her. Like, wow. Let's see. I'm not a fan of elevator music. It's bad on so many levels. Told you to leave. Why would I want to be nagging a language I don't understand? Hey, but you could ignore it and say, I don't understand. Don't leave Cajun Corey. Your sense of humor is perfect. Oh no. Oh my gosh. I love it. It's very disturbing. All right, I'm gonna call these two good for the moment here. So I'll have those done. So that will set me on the road to Judea. Wait, no, that's from History of the World. Lovely song. Where is my other document? Oh, I closed it. Ha. Let's open that back up. We'll open this one back up. And then we will swap that to this. Oops, that's not what I want to do. I want to do... My goodness, it doesn't want to... There we go. All right, back to this. We're going to go to a section of the map because I need to look at something quickly. Let's see. Okay. So I can close this document now. Even a rude eye couldn't miss. You underestimate a rude eye's ability to miss. Oh no. If you ever get locked out of your house, talk to your lock, call me, because communication is key. Wow. Wow. Hmm. Hmm. Yep. Okay. Um. I can add to the conversation that I'm completely unlike any female in my husband's entire family. Facts. All. All right, those are road shrines. We don't have to worry about that. Are you Italian? Wow. All right, we can get past that. Let's get down to here because we're going to have to go back into some of these things. Beta Viridaria. Viridaria. Beta Viridaria. There we go. Like I said, perfect. Yeah, that sense of humor. I don't know if I go so far to call it perfect. It's quite the sense of humor, though. Right. Yeah, I did put another joke, by the way. Another, it's sort of a Pope joke in general chat. Dad's the Italian. She's worse. German. Yeah. We couldn't do your joke. No. All right, I'm back to um the book. Famous the rare tome, also referred to as the language of herbs. It's referred to as also referred to as the language of herbs. It's all right. Famous the rare tome, also referred to as the language of herbs. It's presented. We'll put this in M dash. Language of herbs is presented as a manual on the hidden uses of Arendor's bounty. Penned by the Agrine oracle Kylus centuries prior to the God Killer War, this book has been copied, pilfered from, and quoted by many an alchemist, witch, and healer over the last millennia. Is subtitled Manual on the Hidden Uses of Arendor's Bounty. We'll say penned by the Agrian oracle Kylus centuries prior to the God Killer War. This book has been copied, pilfered from, quoted by many an alchemist, witch, and healer over the last millennia. Follows are a selection of entries from that work detailing the uses and misuses of a number of plant, herbs, fungi, and seeds found across the Godland. Okay. French is better. Is French better? I don't know. I just told a joke on another stream and someone said my book I get my joke from needs to be confiscated. Maybe also burned. Maybe. All right, we got false mallow. We got Itza. Small amounts can be collected from each tree, as they can easily die if harvested too greedily. The sap solidifies into soft and fragrant gum when dried properly. It is used in perfumes, incense, as an antiseptic, as well for treating toothaches when chewed. After refinement by a skilled alchemist, it is often used in healing tinctures, but can be applied directly to bruises, sprains, and aching muscles. Primarily in the Azure Kingdom, there is a lesser form known as matia that is harvested from scrub trees and other arid regions of Godlands, but its effectiveness is questioned by scholars and healers. Salt mud. Buds. Okay, yep, there we go. Green flowers. Breaks down. Okay, that's supposed to be a heading. Small, brilliant purple flowers that sprout in the thorn hedges favored by the dangerous threck. Waste. These small down-like flowers are incredibly poisonous to most living things. Threck and the gubs that wander the waste can eat them without consequence, and the threck often took. Threck often tucking down into their nests as cushioning. Okay. Poison made from these flowers is incredibly lethal, and Kylus indicates that only 2 known possible remedies exist. 1, a mud soak in the strongest mud salts to leach the poison out. The other, a cleansing of the blood through a dangerous ritual he describes later in his work. This passage is missing from all known copies of the book, though. Some believe that it bordered on the practice of blood magic, and as such was removed on purpose by later scholars. Okay. Came up with some pretty good stuff in here. Clustering shelf of mushrooms. Oh, the nutmeg hen. Commonly found at the base of trees in the summer and early fall months all across the Godlands. Known for its brown and orange striations, it looks like a cluster of hen's feathers, hence its name. One of the more common wild edible mushrooms. It's a favorite of adventurers. Commoners alike because it's nearly impossible to confuse them with any inedible fungi. I will say any. They have a strong and pleasant woodsy scent and can often be found in white and red oak trees. Okay. The blind Medusa. Yes, the milkmaids, distinctive white mushrooms have thick rounded caps and begin to develop a rosy blush as they ripen. Cut, they emit a milky fluid, unlike their counterparts, the bitter maids, which are inedible. The milk from these mushrooms can be distilled to make a tonic that supposedly improves one's energy levels, though this is believed to be an old wives' tale. Tasty and firm when cooked, they are even better when left undrained, as the milk cooks down into a sweet syrup as it reduces. We got bitterroot, Arinthian blooms, switchgrass. Okay, that is the switchgrass. That is the grass that changes color. Cindercorns, intensely flavorful peppercorns by the small folk. Bright red when mature, they're rarely harvested early as their flavor peaks when they're at their brightest. Also used brightest and infections. All right. Oop. Let's see. What are we doing here? What time are we getting to? 6:15. All right. I have to quickly go check on kitty cats and stuff. I think I told you guys a while ago there was a mom cat out in the bushes somewhere, and I managed to coax her to come up and eat, and her little kitten cat babies are like this long right now, and I picked one of them up today because they're kind of hiding in the rocks in my retaining wall. I'm gonna go check on them and see how they're doing. I gotta find a home for them because I don't need more cats. So yeah, chair stream in a moment. I'm gonna go and I'll be back. I will talk to you all shortly. Don't call me Shirley, and I'll leave the chair here for you. Look, chair. Hey, guess what? What and who came up to me outside? You ready for cuteness? Baby kitten. He's only this big. He's kind of spitting at me too. See? You hear his little hisses? I gotta get him used to people. Gotta find you a home, buddy. Gotta find a home for you. All right. I'm gonna take him back out to his mom. He's tiny. He's still got his little ears are still down like this too. There's a gray one and another black and white one. All right, I'll be back. Still giving me little hisses. All right. They're all happily back with mom. They're fed. Well, they're getting fed. Once she gets done eating, they'll get fed. And Elvino said he wanted to stay outside. Taken, but I have 4 kittens inside with their mama, and the other mama's cat outside with 4 of her own. Yeah, cats. They're easy to find. No 30 cats. Got a dozen though. Santa needs a cat. Does she have a P.O. box yet? You could mail it to her. Boop. Baby kitten. Yeah, I've got to find somebody that wants kittens. So I don't need them. Don't need them. Cats have plenty of room to roam around in with all the land over here, but I don't want more. Hello, Shadow Warden. All right, so we're working on this. Get this thing fixed. Here. All right. Yeah, I went to go take the kitten away from her. She reached out her paw, and I, petted her on the head, and I said, "It's okay. I'm just gonna take him inside briefly." And she just went, "Meh." When I brought him back out there, he was like, okay." She looked, and she's like, "Okay, all three of them are there." Legend Seeker. Yes, this is Leah. This is me writing the lore for an upcoming RPG. I'm working on the lore for the setting. That is what we do here on this channel. I just noticed Chrysant putting all the cats over there and kick. Many cats. How you doing, Shadow Warden? How you doing? I sadly do not speak Spanish. You could get some Italian going. Well, not Italian, Latin going, but I'm really out of practice, and so I'd be completely lost. Short door kitten got excited. Cats! And of course, it was a little orange cat. Boy, he was very hissy and spitty when I picked him up, too. I reached out to, just pet him on the back of the head, and he's just like, and then he calmed down when he realized I'm like 150 times his size. Hello, this eccentric. By the way, I did chat with the Rude Eye. He said we're on tonight. So unless something comes up and he gets kidnapped by aliens, we should be playing later tonight. Got those. I wonder, I'm trying to think if there's a few other plants we could come up with here. Oh, let me check the etymology of something. Let's go to this. I really hate when I look up something that the first thing on search engines is an AI overview. Like, I don't care. I don't want your AI overview. I can go read an actual article. I am not so. I almost said something really insulting to people who love that stuff. I am not that needy. I can hold off for the length of time it takes me to read a paragraph or two or three or four to get to the thing. I don't need a summary spoon fed to me. Damn it. Ah. Okay. Okay. Okay, that really doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Yep. Beyond having kittens follow me home for my daily walk and claiming it is their own, I'm fine. Hey, as long as they're not laying down in front of you while you're walking, Shadow Warden, that is the worst. That is the worst. It's not a book per se. It's for a role playing game. It's a setting for a role playing game. Correct. There you go. Chrysanth put it there properly. All right, I gotta mute that tab because it just came up with some weird sound. Yeah. Oops. Base? Why is it telling me that? Huh. Giving me all kinds of stupid stuff. All right, we'll go with it. Oop. All right, my sound was just doing all kinds of weird crackly stuff there. I don't know what that was all about. What would be a good name for a plant that can be dried and made into pipeweed? I'm trying to think of something similar to like a tobacco, but I'm trying to think if there's something else we could do with it. We don't have to. I might actually just go with a another herb that heals or helps deal with poison, something like that. Then we have a new person on Kick. Hopefully, the wonderful weirdos are not scaring them off. Well, yeah, there's someone over there who is chatting with us, but does not speak English. So everybody's trying to help and explain what's going on. Tobacco, no, Jensen, no tobacco. Doesn't leave. Only speaking Spanish, so explain what the stream is for is tough. Yes. um. So my first impression when you was something having to do with the moon and making it an elven herb, because there's always those wacky little small folk doing stuff, um, and that's what it's all about. But no, we're doing something elven this time. Oop, there we go. I can spell words. Let me make sure that I'm actually something on my hat here. Go. Well, let's see. It has no known. All right, so a light and hard to cultivate herb. Starleaf is normally only found in the Goldvale wood, though some small folk have managed to grow it in their villages. Has no known useful. I'm going to use the moonleaf stuff that I had earlier. I'm going to change that name and use it for something else. Anyway, I have managed to grow it in their villages. There's no known useful properties in its raw form, but when dried and burned, it gives off pleasant and soothing smoke. Elves generally use this in braziers and incense burners in their halls of healing. All folks smoke it recreationally. I have no idea what those words mean. History of the world. I think that's what they're saying. Maybe. Wait, what? There we go. Okay. Go. You're cheating for me? Thank you. Cheat away. Because I can't. I mean, I think I don't know what Wago is, if that's like the world or the game or something. Because it sounds like they say they get it. Am I writing the dialogue, the word, the the words or the histories of the world? Yeah, I'm not a Spanish speaker, so I don't get it. Going back to King of the Hill from last time, they recast Dale, Khan's old voice actor, who lost that job because Khan is Asian and he isn't. Oh, writing or the story? Yes, I am writing both some of the history, the story of the world. So it's far back ancient history, timelines, and the peoples of the world, and what the people do. So I'm creating, you can see the whole world, creating all the groups of people. I'm writing all the their histories and their stories, and right now I'm working on plants and herbs that they use around here. Oops. Incredibly rare herb whose flowers only. I have that set at. Oh, I said it's under both moons. Light of both moons. properly concentrated form. Kylus had speculated that it may even be. Alright, properly concentrated form. Kylus had speculated that it may be able to reverse the blood poison that causes the affliction, but there is no evidence to support this claim. Better at reading and understanding Spanish than I am at speaking it. Better at reading and understanding English than speaking it. I blame my accent. Nice. Nice, Corey. Reverse the blood poison that caused the affliction. Evidence support that claim. Many forms of inflicted lycanthropy. This plant's pollen. What would you call it? I already used the word affliction. What a state. I'm trying to think of a word. Let me see here. Disease, I guess we call it. Wholesalers believe that many forms of let's say most. Oh, that's while deterrent. We'll say comma. While a deterrent can never truly alleviate the disease. Afflicted and hereditary like character curse rather than physical malady. This plant's policy. Okay. All right. All right. If I post in the feedback section some errors I found in the previews that need potential editing. Oh, definitely. Yep. Definitely good to throw stuff in there because honestly, this stuff is all first draft and none of it's been edited by anyone at all. And I go back and like change things daily, weekly on all these things. So it has not seen an editor's hand yet. But it would be good to get the entries as they are error free. Bum, 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 bum. Rather innocuous mushroom. Making something called blood boil. Rather innocuous mushroom with a smooth red cap. And boil's flesh is not poisonous, but is also rather unappetizing. It's creatures. Go through process. Mm. All right. Want to climb a mountain? I think that would be a good midlife crisis. Really? That's something I've never wanted to do. I mean, sure, I go up, a hill on a hike or whatever, go up some rocky cliffs and stuff. Climbing a mountain, that's never occurred to me. That's the thing I want to do. It would be interesting, but I don't know if I'd have fun doing it or if I'd feel like, well, am I there yet? Right. There we go. So here, all right. We got about 10 minutes left ish. I have no interest in climbing a mountain. I would like to go skydiving again. Better that than buying a fast car that I drive slow. What if you bought a slow car that you drove slowly? Like buy yourself an old Model T or a jalopy and just trundle around town. I bought myself something that's going to sound weird because uh since I have been working at home the last few years, I don't walk quite as much as I used to. I mean, I still walk a lot because I don't drive, I walk everywhere. But I'm trying to keep myself walking even more. And so to that end, I bought myself a little push mower. Not a push power mower, a push mower, just the old style one, kind of like I used when I was a little kid for my front lawn area. I'm gonna give it a shot. It should be arriving in the next couple days. I'm gonna see how it works out. It's American made and it's supposed to be incredibly sharp steel, so we'll see how that goes. That way I can keep, get a little bit more of a walk in while I do something good. Food procured. Time for singing after driving. Hello. All right, Kyle. What'd you get? A pizza? Brisket? I am not an old man yet. Brisket does sound good. I'm having pasta tonight. I have some penne pasta upstairs. I'm gonna just cook it up really quickly, and I'm gonna throw some. I'm just gonna make a really simple bolognese. Just throw it together really quickly, and throw it over the top of it. Eat it. I'll make meatballs, I guess. It's more work. We'll see. I love writing. Writing is super fun. Ba-ba-ba. Right. So I made a thing called blood boil. A rather innocuous mushroom with a smooth red cap and white stem. Blood boil's flesh is not poisonous, but is also rather unappetizing to most creatures. When the flesh of the cap is distilled through a rather laborious and time-consuming process, it yields a liqueur that many hedge witches and medicine men use in love charms and love potions. Its effects in this regard are dismissed by Kylus, but he does report that it is a first-rate aphrodisiac. There we go. We got something called blood boil. Well, I should drive up to Bucky's and get me a brisket sandwich. There you go. I saw that somebody did a Bucky's thing where they said, after the Pope was selected and they wasn't selected and there was black smoke. They were like, people put up memes of like, black smoke coming from the chimney atop Bucky's. It's signifying that the brisket is ready. Like, no, I don't brisket. All right, what do we got here? Okay. Yeah. I figured there'd be some fun things. People would use this stuff. Eventually, we'll have to come up with some more poison. Like another thing that is a poison that's not like the end of everything. No, I want brisket. Everybody wants it. Yay! There's one where Snoop Dogg was at the Vatican smoking weed for the white smoke. Jeez. People. People are crazy. People are gonna people. Wherever they are. Right, so I can go here, and I could do this. Oh. Right. Right. We got here. We got 2.5 minutes left. 2.5 minutes. All right, one more little thing here quickly. Stopped and parked. I wasn't gonna fall for the trap of chatting while driving. Good idea. Good idea. You got Wendy's. Oh, okay, good. I write novels. Oh, yeah, the stuff that I write, the that I write currently, I'm trying to find a publisher for, and I do not have a traditional publisher for my novels yet. I have some things. Well, now it's closed down on Kindle Vella. I had a serialized novel going there, but that's no longer there. I made made a little money off of that, and yeah, I'm looking to self-publish my my other book. So I'm testing that out for my how-to book when I get some time to focus on it. I'll be happier. Double burger, fries, chili, lemonade, and a frosty. All blended together, right? Right. Maybe not. So all right, I've got 2 seconds left. So, I am going to save this and I'm going to say goodbye and have a great night, everyone. I will be streaming something in a little while. I don't know what I'm going to stream. We'll see. I think I'm going to stream. I may get into writing and forget to stream. We'll see. So if I see you on my channels in a little bit, I'll see you there. If not, you won't. So I'm going to get out of here and I will talk to you all later. So have a great night and don't do anything too crazy. Okay? Promise.